So what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning back in. This is part 2 of the interior. In this video, what we're going to do is touch on the door panels, because the original door panels were pretty bad. They got water damaged and they were starting to get moldy and stuff. So we got to do new door panels, backers. We're going to make some speaker pods. We're going to install the seats. We're going to try to do as much as we can, and hopefully we get it all done. So here we go. So this was the passenger front door panel, and you can see that thing is rotted to hell. So you're going to have to take your best door panel if you're making this and make a template out of it. This is the driver's side, and it was pretty good. It kind of disintegrated, but should be all right. I'll clamp it down, cut it out. So the board that I used was this chip board. It's a cheap board from Lowe's or Home Depot. You can get it. The only thing is, if this gets wet, it could swell and get deformed too. So I'm going to put, one side of it has got a coating. I'm going to put that towards the door side and then have the brown side on the fabric side of it. So it should be fine. Everything should be sealed up and it shouldn't swell, I guess, if it does get wet. But we're going to take a pencil, we're going to mark out all the spots, and then we're going to come back in, hit it with a drill, hit it with a Dremel, hit it with whatever. We might even get the router out and clean it up. So it's going to take a little bit to get this all to fit back in there again, but we can do it. You see what I'm doing here?
No, I know what you're doing.
What I'm doing is I'm making a door panel.
What's this wood for?
So this is the original material, and what I'm doing is I'm tracing it, and I'm going to cut it out of this.
Oh.
You can see how it's all like warped and bent. I'm going to cut it out, and then I put this piece back on, and then I put new fabric on it, and then it looks all nice and neat. So at this point I have it cut out the same size, and I have it clipped down. I'm going to go around and do a drill hole, and then I'll join them together, but I'll just do a hole with a drill on each end. I'll have to use the jigsaw on these. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to get this to stick back in. It looks like it was like punched through before and it like forced its way. I tried hammering it. It really doesn't want to stay. So maybe I'll get a screw, like a short screw from the back, or like a thin head on it. Put a couple in there and then grind it off. I'm not really sure. But now I gotta cut the other pieces. So what I'm gonna do here is use a piece of cardboard, throw it up there, try to trace it out as best I can, and then cut it down. We'll probably just do half of it at a time, flip it over, get the other side kind of thing. So I grabbed a little cutoff wheel or a plastic guide, I can't remember what this was, put my pencil in there and let it roll across all the bumps in the back, and then it'll give me like kind of a rough idea of the way the metal's shaped back there. So after using that little guide, you can see it's not that straight, but it's close enough. This was like a little bump that was going around. I'm just gonna try to cut it. And what I'll do for the rest of it is I'll measure where the middle is. I'll measure the width, and then I'll just flip it over. So it fits pretty good. Now I'll do is I'll just mark under here the depth, and then I'll cut that. So I'll just come in like this, mark it. So I also marked where the center was, so I can cut that. And let's see. That's good enough. It's hard to see. So for some reason, it didn't really mark most of it, but I think I'll be able to figure it out. So when I go to flip the template over, I got window marked on one side, and then this is the passenger side, and that's the middle, and vice versa on the other one. So that's it. It seems to fit. It's in the middle. This bump out right here, I might have to work around a little bit. But now I gotta transfer it onto a piece of MDF, speaker pods, plaque, and we're done. So after I get my main board cut, I went and I figured out exactly where my speakers need to be for the holes that are already in the metal of the rear deck. I'm going with a component set. So these are just going to be cut out, and then there'll be actually a piece that goes on top of everything again, and then there'll be a grill that goes over the whole thing. So first we got to cut this out, and then we're going to cut out the raised piece that the speakers are going to sit on, and then we're going to cut out the grill surround and router it and everything. So I'm using just a small bevel, testing it out on my router to see which one I like the most. I picked up this set from Harbor Freight, the router and the set of bits here. So I have a couple options, and we're going to need to cut back. We're going to have to do a router edge, and then here you can see we already did the cut back, so we can stick the grill back there and it'll be recessed. The edges are all routed out. So the stainless mesh that I'm showing, I got it on Amazon. I'll post links in the description for most of the stuff that I'm using anyway, so check it out. Here's what it will look like kind of finished in the window. It's got to be raised up because I'm afraid my cylinders are going to hit my speakers. So doing the same thing or similar on the front dash, we can't have anything that's super thick, so I just bought this thin piece of plywood, cut it out the shape that I wanted, made 2 of them, cut out some screens, and what we're going to do is we're going to wrap these pieces of wood, and then we'll essentially attach these screens or the speaker mesh to the back side of it. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in and I'll end up wrapping the whole dash in this red leather, and it'll look good, hopefully. So these are a couple pieces that I want to wrap in leather or maybe suede, and everything I've seen says to tape them up tight and then draw where you want your lines and then cut them out, use them as templates. So here's my attempt at that. These little pieces are kind of hard to wrap, but we're gonna do our best to get them wrapped and see how good they come out. And these lines are gonna be where I line it up when I go to put the 2 pieces together, so I'm gonna transfer that over to my material as well. Here's an example of the armrest. We'll start with this one. We're gonna do it with the red leather, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt. Once you get your template stuck to your piece of material, what you're going to want to do is trace it out, but you're also going to want to add at least a 1/4 inch around the whole thing so that you have something to sew to. So this line that I'm drawing now is going to be like where it has to be sewn at. So we're going to need a little bit on the left side and a little bit on the right side when it goes through the sewing machine. So with that being said, hopefully I'm not confusing anybody, but just add a little bit of material around it so you can sew it. You add too much, it's going to make it bulky and you're not going to be able to fold it. So if you watch my previous video where I sew up the seats the first time, you can see that I'm fighting with it. So what I ended up doing was looking on Facebook Marketplace for a walking foot sewing machine. I found this Consew sewing machine. It's an older one, but it's already been upgraded. It has a servo motor and stuff. The reason why it has to be upgraded is usually when you step on these industrial machines and they have an original motor, they go from off to full speed in it's about a second, but with the servo motor you can kind of go slow into it. Here you can see it's all sewn and done and ready to go, and I'm about ready to put glue on it. Try to get it fit as tight as you can. The glue I use is this Wellwood contact adhesive. It's a Landau trim. I use it on the roof. I use it on basically anything, and it holds tight and good.
I hold my glasses on.
So what I'm doing here is I'm actually sewing up the lines that go on the door panel piece. So the original pattern is maybe an inch and then an eighth and then an inch, and it's just basically 2 sew lines. So I just had a piece of tape, taped them out, took some chalked out everything that wasn't going to be sewn, and then peeled the tape out, and it gave me a good line to sew on. If you're gonna do this, you're gonna really need to have the right sewing machine, and even if you bought this sewing machine for $900 or $1,000, you could turn around and sell it for $900 or $1,000. They don't really lose value. It's kind of already lost its value. They kind of just stay at that same price. You might find some a little bit cheaper, some a little bit more, so it'll be like you're renting it. And see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.